Hi, and welcome back to all the two viewers that watch my. I just want to say hello, and I just want to put it out there that the whole point of me filming these videos is not so other people can watch, is not so that I can have a million subscribers or whatever, but it's just so that I can keep track of my personal development and my personal self growth and all of that great stuff. And so as part of that, like all of these videos, some of them might be like stupid and quirky to me, but like a lot of them have like a message that I'm sending to myself saying, hey, like you're working on this and this is something that you've done and this is something that you are working on. Yeah. And I want to continue that through this video. I really been trying to make an emphasis on my 2019 goals and the the changes that I want to make in my life. And one of those goals is to read more in this year and to kind of create a love for reading and to create to really form a connection with like books and words because I really want to be a good writer and in order to be a better writer you have to be able to sit down and read a book and read the way other people write. And I feel like it's almost halfway through the year and I feel like I've really become a fan of reading. Like I've actually can say that I like to sit down and open a book and just get lost in the pages, which is like completely different for me. And it's not just something like, oh yeah, I like reading. Like no, like I actually really like to read. But there's always a but. There is a problem that I still do have. And that problem is actually sitting down and allowing myself to open the pages and read more than 10 at a time. I have a bunch of books that I am so excited to get into, and I love the idea of reading them. But then there's always the part where like I need to sit down and read more than 10 pages at a time. Because I have a whole stack of books that I have the first 10, 15 pages done, and yet nothing else has been read. And so I decided to kind of sit down and think. I'm like, okay, I really want to get into reading. What are some things I could do? I tried the old fashioned just sitting there reading. It doesn't really work for me. And then I kind of was like, you know what? Like maybe if I read, like, not read, if I maybe watch YouTube videos, like that might help. And I kind of got super into like BookTube, which is like bizarre to me, and AuthorTube also. I did not realize that was a thing, but now I do. But like I was super into BookTube, and what I noticed is one of the girls that I love to watch is Whitney Novels. I want to say I don't know, but yeah, she when she reads, she like journals what she reads, and I'm like, why have I never thought of that? And then as you can kind of tell, I'm not sure if you've seen my closet in previous videos before, but it's a lot more cleared out, looks a lot more organized. I would show you, but then the camera would check and all that. But anyways, I like cleared out my closet and I got some old journals and I actually used to like religiously like I would sit down and read like books at a time. I remember like just sitting there and like for instance like the Hunger Games like what was the Mockingjay one. I literally sat down in one sitting and I read the entire book. And that's like unreal to me now because like I said before I only read 10 pages at a time and I just was like, wow, like I actually did this. And I looked in my journals and I would see like I would if I finished a chapter, I wrote about what that chapter was about. Or I finished a section of book, so I wrote what it was so I can remember the next time. And I'm like, why am I not like this anymore? Why am I not as dedicated to things? So like I realized that I've always loved reading. It just for some reason feels more like a chore now. And I realized it's always been a chore because I really suck at just sitting down, reading something, and knowing what they're saying. I've always sucked at that. Like, it's just like something going on up here. And so, like, what I used to do is I used to sit down, read something. As soon as I got it, I'd write it down, and then I'd go on and read. And if I didn't know, I would just read my summarized version. And I'm like, wow, I had a system. I knew what I was doing. So yeah, it's time to get back into that system. And I decided to start its own dedicated journal and make it my reading journal. I just recently started it because, like, I've just found all those journals and all of that. But, like, it has my TBR, and I just started. I, I'm sorry. I started reading this book a long time ago, but then I put it down. I never picked it back up, and I started reading it again. And I'm back into it. I've written my little summary. I've written like goals that I have for myself, which I think is like a new thing. I didn't do that before. I'd be like, I just read and write. But now I'm like, okay, I need to actually be goal oriented when it comes to this. I need to actually have a plan set out. And so like I've have the next like my goal page and how many pages I should be reading because this is a really small book and I should finish it really fast. But I doubt that I will because yeah, yeah, I just want to take a quick moment and share that I'm actually making progress with my New Year's resolutions and show that like I've been able to